I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans. And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field. Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We could even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today.
What's up? Welcome to POSTGAME. Iowa State loses. I'm going to call it, for me at least, it was a heartbreaker at Houston today, 68-59. I thought it was one of the best efforts I've seen from an Iowa State team in a really long time. I think that the officiating was absolutely horrendous down the stretch. We'll talk about all of that and more here on POSTGAME. We are presented, as always, by our friends at Channel Seed. Love our guys there. I'm looking forward to speaking to a bunch of Channel Seedmen later this week on Tuesday. Can't wait to go and see all my friends there. Also, Keen Project Solutions bringing you pre- and post-game for the men's during the regular season. And the Natuzil family, I was texting with Clay. He was drinking a bottle of Cody Road during that game. God bless him. You're going to need it. God, I'm pissed off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Natuzils. I just ruined your ad read because I'm so pissed off at that swing and the officiating there. Here's the deal.
5-point swing right there.
Well, I just hate getting robbed when the guys played their asses off like that. And it may not have impacted. They may still have lost. That was a 5 to 6 point swing. And then Cryer pushes off 2 possessions later. Literally, Matt, you're looking at like a 6 to 9 point swing. Mm-hmm. And that was when Iowa State had all the momentum in that game. Yep. After they had been left for dead, being down 15. If they would have called it live, fine. Don't go to the monitor and then call that a cylinder foul. That is one of the worst calls you will see in sports all year long. That is absolutely horrendous, and those are good refs.
Yes.
God, I'm pissed.
Billis was absolutely right. If that's a cylinder foul, then everything's a foul. The only thing I could see why they called it, he was kind of leaning a bit, like he was leaning over the ball just a little bit, and that could be why they called it. But
I didn't like going to the monitor and calling it. That was what.
Yeah.
And it's not me being biased. I know I'm biased.
With you heard the chest cameras on the refs,
you heard. You heard Billis with his take. It was weird. Had I not drank so much beer last night, it probably would have gone over better. For me, I was getting a little nauseous. Yeah. No, listen, really proud of the team. That's what I thought you'd get today, Matt, when we did pregame. I thought Iowa State would play really hard.
Absolutely.
And I can take a lot of positives. Momcilovic in the last 10 minutes of that game, probably the best offensive version we've ever seen of Milan Momcilovic. Assertive. The Nate Heisey.
0 points in the first half, 16 finishes with 16 points and some big threes.
Didn't he kind of look like Milan looked, I thought, in the second half like Curtis and Keyshawn did without Taman at TCU last year, where it was kind of like, man, this is my team right now. I gotta put it on my back. And he was doing things that we just don't see from him very often.
You can really tell when Milan's feeling loose, right? A lot of times he rushes his shot, but you could just tell that he had something going there in the second half. He was really feeling it and made some really nice moves. He had that nice little hesitation down low too. Put a guy in his corner and put it in. He was impressive, man. That's what you needed. That's what we talked about in the pregame. You needed a big game out of him. For him to not score at all in the first half, you get down 12 points at halftime. You needed some big shots out of him, and you really did get that.
Well, LJ Cryer, and you tip your cap. One of the best
points.
games you'll see from a Big 12 player all year. 5 of 7 of 3, step back. He was incredible. It really is. We talk about Momcilovic's assertiveness down the stretch, Matt, but Milan and Josh Jefferson combined to go 5 of 24 from the field. And, you still realistically have a chance to win that game at the end, that's encouraging. The other thing is just the play of Nate Heisey. This is a guy.
Another great game.
I told you in pregame I thought he may just play most of the game. I thought that and he played 31 minutes today. The only reason he didn't play more is because he had 4 fouls.
And he's the guy that's finally out of his own head too, right? It was that longest stretch where he was just overthinking it. Now he's just playing free, he's playing loose. It looks like he's so comfortable out there right now. And 12 points, 4 or 5 from the field. Some big minutes from him for sure. In his first start as an Iowa State Cyclone.
Yeah, so you hope, best case scenario here is we don't know enough about the illness to Kurt to know his status for. It is good they're playing Wednesday, so this isn't a week where you play on a Monday. Got a game on. Wait a second, maybe it's Tuesday. I need to check that. I actually think it is Tuesday. I think I misspoke. Yeah, they play Tuesday. My apologies. I screwed that up. So that's a 7 o'clock
Oklahoma
tip.
State.
Yeah, on Tuesday. Regardless.
Are they staying down south? Are they going to come back? They'll come back up, right? That's probably a long enough stretch.
I would guess that they'll fly back and they'll be home by 6 o'clock tonight, 6, 7 o'clock tonight. And then, that would
pick up Curtis and get him.
Well,
right.
in the best case scenario is whatever this illness is, you can get him in. Maybe he doesn't need to play the whole game on Tuesday, but get him some run, get his lungs back. And then Keyshawn's good to go too. The worst case is you got to go to war without both of those guys, and which would be in my opinion, would be a much more difficult game to get up for without those guys. It's going to be a sleepy arena at Oklahoma State, right? But listen, I don't know how you watch that game if you're a fan of the Iowa State Cyclones and you just didn't love it. Like, just love the team, love the effort. It wasn't perfect, but we thought Iowa State would try and play in the 50s today.
Yep.
We thought they would limit possessions. And really down the stretch, what's interesting about it is they started rushing a little bit because you're down 15 with 10 to go or whatever it is, and you got to score, right? But that was when Milan, I thought, it started to click for him, and they kind of got away from the game plan, but they had to. Houston starts missing some shots at that point. Iowa State's right in it at the end. But I'm just seeing all these people in the comments that a lot of people are proud of the team today. The hope, the best case scenario is, again, I've referenced this a couple of times today. TCU game last year, guys grow. Even they won that game, but guys grow from another guy being out, and that's where you look at Heisey and you look at Milan, what they were able to do. Optimistic in those guys. Because you need confidence with those. Those are both confidence-based guys. And I don't know how either one of those guys isn't just beaming with it after the way they played today.
And really, Chris, I mean, you really saw a great defensive performance from both teams. You saw why both teams are KenPom top 10 defenses. I sent you a picture, a stat from the first 10 minutes of the game. Both teams had 6 turnovers. Yep. Houston had 11 points off those turnovers, and Iowa State was 0. And I think to finish the game,
cleaned it up.
Both teams had 16 points off turnovers. It was pretty even, and that was a big reason why they went on that run.
I looked it up for you, buddy. I already got it for you because I knew you would want to go there. Second half, Iowa State 3 turnovers. They forced 7 on Houston. Your points off turnover stat favored Iowa State 11-3 in the second half. So very astute Maddie Van Winks. That was the difference, and that got Iowa State back in the game. But again, LJ Cryer, at some point, when Sharp hit that 3 from Dallas, it was okay. Yeah. These guys are really freaking good. 10 of 17 from 3. That's almost 60% from 3 for that team today. They played well, right? It's not like you came in here. I thought Iowa State's chances, man, you hope that they're 3 of 20 from 3 and you catch them on a bad day. You didn't, and you still are in it at the end. I thought Chatfield was great today. I thought he really battled for Iowa State in 20 minutes, 8 for him. Deshaun Jackson was really a non-factor because he was in foul trouble for the entire game. But hey,
the bench guys too, right? Cade Kelderman came in and actually played some pretty good defense.
He really did. 9 minutes for him.
Impressive.
I thought he was a really solid on-ball defender.
Yeah.
Watson, hit that three, and then didn't do a ton after that. DeMarion didn't. It was pretty clear Iowa State's best lineup today was Heisey, Jefferson, Lipsy, Momchilovich, and Chatfield, felt like, for most of that game. We did see Andrusaitis come in for just a little bit, didn't do much.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, again, like I don't know, like if you're a realistic Iowa State fan, and I think most of our viewers are, that was a great effort. And I was disappointed because I thought it felt a smidge Arizona-ish to me. I was pissed after that game because it's like, God damn it. Like they played so hard. They deserved that reward to win that. But think about that. Iowa State's 2 toughest road games, throw the Kansas game out. They got smoked in that game. They weren't ever in that one. But those 2 games, you're a 3/4 court shot and
a cylinder
down.
foul.
Yeah. Well, it's a fucking cylinder. But right, like really good road efforts, and you're just like, you're that close.
Yeah.
We
got to give a shout out to Lipsy, too. Became the all-time steals leader for Iowa State. Had 2 steals today, past Monte Morris. That's cool. Only a junior, too. He's got a full season and a few postseason games ago, but that was cool to see. Guy's a ball. I mean, he had a great game, too. 11 points, 4 of 7, 3 3-pointers. He's always that guy that hits you a 3 when you need it to, right?
Yeah.
There were some points there where it was like, man, this thing could really get out of hand. Taman cuts it from like 15 to 12. And just kind of kept them right around 10, 11, 12 points. And another good game from Taman.
Yeah, Taman's just an absolute warrior. Like he showed that again today. The Otts always talks about it, the little things that he does that don't always show up on the stat sheet. I'd love to see like a double assist stat like they have in hockey. And I bet Taman Lipsy would often lead the country. Nonetheless, listen, get healthy, right? Like, because we all know when this team's healthy, how good they can be. And Houston might be the best team in the country, right? Like, they've won 19 of 20 or whatever it is. Like, their losses early in the year were to really good teams. They were in, like, November. Like, that might be the best team in the country. I don't know. Auburn would definitely have a say. Duke would have a say. Florida would like to have a conversation about this. That might be the best team, and you're right there. So
move down to 10th in Ken Palm.
It's okay. You're gonna get killed on your analytics. Show me, Aiden, what their offensive rating cratered to after today. I would love to know that. Click on Iowa State if you don't mind.
I have it pulled up on mine. I'm not logged in.
All right, what do you got?
Sorry, I don't have a Ken Palm.
Oh, you don't have a Ken
I'll
Palm.
let Aiden do it.
Hey, tell us about our GoFundMe, and I'll look all that up
for sure.
us.
So,
let's do this.
we talked about this in the pregame. My buddy Chris from high school, his son was diagnosed with T-cell leukemia. He's been in and out of the hospital at Blank Children's Hospital. Big Cyclone fan, 3-year-old. We're tough like Ty right now. They got a GoFundMe account going to help the family through some financial, cancer sucks. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
It can really put a financial stress on families, and this family could use some help now, and they got a GoFundMe set up. I'm going to put that in the chat if you guys want to contribute to that. They're also going to have a silent auction starting in April, so I'll make sure and put that out on Twitter too, to check that out if you want to support them in that way too. So we're thinking about the Peterson family and our big Cyclone fan Ty as well.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, Iowa State did crater on offense. I thought that they likely would, down to 20
okay. Yeah.
on offense.
What were they before?
I want to say around like 12 to 15-ish. So it was a decent little jump today, but but the thing is, it doesn't really matter because you weren't at full strength. Like and everybody's asking like, will the AP pulse streak keep going? I think that there's a shot. Yeah, because I'm guessing most voters, I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in the voters, but I'm guessing a lot of them will likely factor in the injuries and all that stuff. So 10. I bet and a lot of other teams lost today too. So Wisconsin lost today, which is really important. A&M lost today. Marquette lost today, which doesn't help Iowa State because of their situation, and it's one of Iowa State's best wins on paper.
Tech took care of business at home against West Virginia, so they're right there with Iowa State too. So
a lot of teams lost today, so I would guess Iowa State is still in the top 10, and I know that the AP poll doesn't actually matter, but it's still a cool streak for your program to be in the top 10 for that many weeks. And I mean, while it doesn't matter, I'd still like to keep it going if you can. And then you've got a great opportunity next week to go 2-0 with the road game at Oklahoma State. And then we look at Gilbert and this situation with Jones, and you got to get those guys back for next week with Arizona coming to town, right? That's what I have circled at this point. And Oklahoma State is at Kansas today. I don't know if they've tipped off yet.
They have Kansas is up by 9.
Okay. And then you've got tonight, Arizona will be hosting BYU. So decent little game tonight in Tucson for that team. And then they get Utah midweek before coming to Ames next weekend. So we are there. This is the time of year that we all live for. But Iowa State's got to get healthy. Nonetheless, I don't know how you could be pissed at all about today like that. I agree with the tweet Walters put up. It's just, how do you not love this team like that? Yeah. Hopefully they grow from it. There's no guarantees in any of this, but hopefully the confidence builds with some of those other guys, and you're a better basketball team on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think it's exactly what you said in the pregame. We got what you wanted. Keep this close. Don't let it get away from you. You saw some great fight getting down 16 and getting it back within 1. Got to be happy with that for sure. Get back to Hilton and let's get back on the winning side.
Absolutely. Great effort today. Thank you, Maddie.
No problem.
The women are going to lose, right? I haven't seen an update in
over.
20 minutes.
They lost.
They did lose. So we're going live with them?
We're going to go live at 3:45.
Okay.
67-52 your final in Waco.
Oh, that's a tough.
Cycle and wrestling got a win.
That I saw that. They won in overtime at Missouri. So, very cool.
Not overtime.
I thought it was
They won by 3.
They won by 3.
So it was a tight
there
one.
was a tweet that said overtime, and I didn't even know what that meant. But
I don't know what that means either.
Yeah.
One of the matches go to overtime.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the last match, I think, went to overtime, I believe is what happened. That's what I mean.
Go wrestling.
So is it Leah and Connor or Chelsea coming up today? I can't hear you.
Chelsea.
Okay. Poppins and Leah Nelson are coming up here in 5 minutes. Bloom and I will record tomorrow for you guys for what will be a fairly dramatic week, I think, coming up with Arizona on Saturday night. That'll be insane. And then we don't know, right, with Kurt and Keyshawn, and there's just a lot of questions going into this week with Iowa State basketball as far as who's going to be out there or not. So a lot happening right now. We appreciate y'all, Channel Seed, for being our presenting sponsor of Postgame. Iowa State loses at Houston. Turned out to be a really fun game. 68-59 was the final. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Thanks for listening on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network.